You 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. HawkFanatic.com, brought to you by Deary Brothers Ford. Patrick Eads and his staff on Mormon Trek. Steve Anderson, Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Mike's E-Keys for cars. Tavern Blue on the Coralville Strip. GT Car and his great crew at Supple's Building and Remodeling. Supple's Flowers, the home of 1-800-800-ROSE. The Midtown Family Restaurants. Harty and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City. Also, Harty and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street. I already said that. I'm buffering. Diamond Dream Sports Academy. I ain't right. Premier Automotive in North Liberty, the Oxyokin and the Amanas, Streets Maintenance, and Dr. Lance Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids. Here's Tom Suter and Pat Harty from HawkFanatic.com.
Morning, boys.
My head's either shrinking or these headphones are getting bigger because they keep sliding down.
Well, you can adjust them. Adjust them. Yeah.
Okay, go.
Push them down.
Well, I am. They're they just feel bigger than they ever have before. Maybe my head's shrinking.
No, somebody had bigger head and pulled them out, and you just gotta push them down.
Tighten them back.
Yeah.
Simple mechanism.
Who was here using them recently with a bigger head?
Either Brad Kunkel or Bob Conrad.
Or maybe Mo had them on. We don't know.
These things are so annoying. All right.
There you go.
Yeah, just go.
Professional Sonys.
These things are annoying. And what do you say is causing my radio to... Because it's unlistenable now. You said something, my radio you got me, it was working fine until is that anything to do with the new boxes Mediacom put in?
Yeah, probably. Seriously.
I can't listen to it. It's just on every channel, just click. It's okay for like a minute, then it just goes off. It just starts
it didn't happen before you got the new boxes.
But how would that be related?
They're computers. And like computers, they put off, they don't have any RF shielding.
So another reason to get YouTube TV? Is that what you're telling me?
I would, yes. Yeah.
All right.
Well, sometime this week, we'll go get Roku.
How do we know? Why don't you check to see if I have a smart TV first? Maybe we don't need it.
Yeah, well, we will.
All right.
But then we'll get a Roku. And
are you part of this project, Suter?
I'm confident.
You're part of the project.
Okay.
You can somehow turn it into a business expense. Whatever time you spend, you can.
Business expense. I can't even turn the show into a business expense.
All right.
All right, then. Yeah.
What do you want to start with?
Well, let's start with
Caitlin.
Caitlin's team. And, man, is that team bad.
It looks it. I was not able to watch yesterday's game. I watched the one, was it Saturday? Yeah, they seem like they play every hour. I mean, what do they play, like 3 times a day, it seems like?
It seems like, well, they've played...
What's weird is, like, Chicago's played like 7 games, and Caitlin and them have played like 11.
11, yeah.
It's just bad scheduling. But still, their problems go way beyond an unfair schedule.
Way beyond. I'm hoping they got 6 days before their next game.
Sounds like she needs it.
And they all need it.
Yeah. She really needs it, though, because she's carrying a way heavier burden than anyone else. And
she did not look good yesterday.
Sounds like yesterday was her low point so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. Ever.
3 points, I think.
It had a
4
3-pointer.
rebounds.
It just
missed a duck layup.
Think about it. She's got 14 points in her last 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that song? Somebody told me there'd be days like. Is that John Lennon?
Mama,
somebody told me there'd be days. Yeah.
That one. There's actually been 2 songs.
That's kind of what this. I mean, she was forewarned, and she'll be fine. Though I'm not ready to panic. I mean, she does need to get stronger. I think that's obvious. She at times looks like a little girl out there playing, doesn't she?
She does. Well, I think. Yeah. I mean, when she's going up against.
And when I say little girl, you know what I mean. I'm saying just not as developed, not as physically mature.
And some of those women are huge
and mean.
Well, that's and
tough.
Yeah, it's like Well, they're holding it against her with all the acclaim and everything, and
Yes.
all the endorsements.
And now it's turned into a racial thing to where if she was black, they wouldn't be doing it. I disagree with that.
No, I think they'd be doing
The
it.
difference, though, is if she was black, she wouldn't be this popular.
Yeah.
I don't think she would have the. I'm not saying. I'm just. She wouldn't have the national. Would she acceptance? I don't think she would.
Well, I don't think so. I mean, but then look at Juju Watkins.
But let's say she did, and she was black, and she was attractive, and all the stuff they hold. I think the same WNBA players would be coming at her if she was this popular. Maybe not quite as, but I don't think it's all just race that some want you to believe it's just race.
I think that's
race.
part of it.
I think it's part of it, yes, but it's not all of it. I don't think it's just the driving force.
I think it's more just absolute jealousy.
Jealousy and resentment.
Yeah, because...
But you're resentful toward the hand that's feeding you.
That's
what I don't understand.
That's right.
That's what I don't understand.
And they're jealous of
the money that she's going to start making for them.
And they're jealous about the endorsements that they don't get.
Yeah, but
I've played in this league for 10 years.
But none of those girls were also the NCAA's all-time leading scorer who scored almost 4,000 points, who played in back-to-back NCAA championship games, who made logo threes, who led the country in assists. There's a way to – I mean, she has earned everything she's got.
Yes,
on
she
the court.
has.
And now she's being humbled a little bit, which I saw coming. But everything that she has achieved, she has earned. And there's nobody else like her on or off the court. I mean,
what was the one that attacked her?
Kennedy Carter.
Kennedy Carter.
Carter goes, well, what does she do other than
she's
threes?
already maybe the best passer in the league.
Yeah.
If not one of the top five. She's already that. So.
Well, she isn't one of the top shooters.
Not right now, but she will be.
I think so.
I think this is just a phase, but, you know, she was a volume shooter at Iowa. She had a lot of games at Iowa where she made maybe 5 of 14 threes. You know, she's not going to get that in the WNBA. I don't think she'll get that many looks, but she had games at Iowa where she scored a lot of points but took a lot of shots too.
Yes. Yep.
She's not going to have that luxury, I don't believe, in the WNBA. But again, I don't think they need her to score 30. They need her to go 18, 8, and 6. She goes that, she's all pro, and they're fine, but they need so much more than just her. But, man, when I wrote that column, my timeline turned into a tribal thing, of course, left. I mean,
how is it political?
Because she's white, Catholic, and straight. That's the only way I can explain it. And it just became the right attacking the left, and I'm just like, how is this? I said to myself, why is this political? But then somebody reached out to me and said MAGA loves her because of what she stands for, and I'm just like, Jesus, seriously? You can't have anything anymore without politics seeping into it?
It's just ridiculous. And MAGA is putting pictures of her, and they're fake, you know, with other MAGA people, and putting them on the internet.
That's just weird. But there's so much weird, creepy.
But I mean, these players are turning off people to all these people came to the WNBA
because of Caitlin.
Yes,
and I know Angel Reese was part of it, but Caitlin was the reason. The reason they're getting all this stuff. If she wasn't there, this class would not be anywhere. Nobody would be talking about Angel Reese if Caitlin wasn't in this class.
No.
If Angel Reese decides not to give an interview after the game,
stupid.
Stupid. She got fined $1,000.
I mean, a year ago, and I don't want to sound too hard. A year ago, hardly anybody cared about this league. You didn't.
No,
I didn't. And I'll be honest with you right now. Beyond Caitlin and Kate, I don't care much about it. And they're not helping me to get more interested by not doing interviews because they're mad they lost or whatever. That's just, and I didn't like the way Angel Reese celebrated with Carter.
No,
I mean, Angel comes out and says that Caitlin and I are friends. She always seems to be having to explain her act. I just thought that was I just didn't get it. Be physical with her. You knew she was going to be targeted. Being tough and physical is part of the game. She's targeted. She's a great offensive player. I don't do all that stuff to her, but that stuff just seems petty, and like Captain said, it turns people off.
It does.
People don't want to see that.
They're killing the golden goose.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're biting the hand that's feeding them. I mean, she's lifting everything. Just embrace it. But the best way to humble Caitlin and to try to show that she's not the greatest ever, beat her. And they should be happy.
They are.
She's lost 8 of her first 10 games.
And they are beating her.
Beating her literally and figuratively. Just be happy with that's sending a message. Hey, you may be a superstar and everything, but this league's something different. You better adjust to us. Okay, fine, that's fair, but don't lower yourself.
Anticipated.
Yeah, and they're struggling more than I thought they would.
They're a lot worse than
I didn't think they would be. I didn't think she'd be on a team that can barely win. I mean, last night's game was 30 points, wasn't it?
It's 36, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they're not even competitive.
No, it was. It wasn't from the jump. It wasn't competitive.
No, so yeah,
literally the jump, tap to Brianna Stewart all alone under the basket.
And I didn't realize, like, Brianna Stewart is way better than Aaliyah Boston. I didn't realize how much better.
She really
because I
is.
didn't follow the league that much. I mean,
Brianna Stewart is incredible.
She is really, really good. Man, she did win 4 national titles at Connecticut. I mean,
and
think about that.
Hello. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Hey, I just turned on your show, and I suppose you already touched on. I saw a highlight where that Caitlin got drilled by that one other guy.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about now.
Yeah.
What actually took place? I mean, besides, I actually saw the highlight.
Well, there was an inbounds pass, and they had been chirping back and forth a little bit.
Sure.
And there was people saying that Caitlin had thrown an elbow. I thought it was unintentional. I didn't think And when Caitlin wasn't looking, waiting to get the inbounds pass, Carter came up behind her and just shoulder checked her to the ground. Now, she probably did sell it a little bit.
And she screamed, "You bitch!"
And that was
she
did. I could see that. I mean, I couldn't hear it, but you could see her mouthing that. But
I heard it.
And
Caitlin,
were you there?
No, I heard it
on TV.
Player.
Yeah. It was on TV.
Yeah,
I saw it this morning when they.
I mean, I saw her lip it, but they had words before, and the anti-Caitlin people are saying that she elbowed her and said some. And there are some clips where they're going back. Caitlin chirps.
But that's a basketball play. As Caitlin said, it wasn't a basketball play.
No, she wasn't looking, and the girl came up and shoulder checked her, and Caitlin sold it, but she fell to the ground. She may have flopped a little bit, but I would do the same thing to sell it, to show the officials, and that's where we are.
Well, when I saw the highlight, and like I said, you guys clarified things more a little bit for me, but when I saw the highlight, that was intentional. I mean,
it was. I don't think Carter's denying that it was. No, she meant to do it.
I mean, and as far as Caitlin flopping, I mean.
Well, I don't think. I'm not saying she just completely.
No, it wasn't a flop.
It wasn't a flop, but I think she maybe.
No.
I'm saying she
sold
sold
what
it.
You just said.
She sold it.
She went down a little bit more than maybe, but I think it would have to be a pretty large person not to go down after taking a shot like that.
It was a good shot.
No, it was a good shot. But I also think she sold it, which she should in that situation, to show the officials who, for some reason, almost acted like they missed it since they didn't call anything. But
everybody sells it.
Well, that's what you do, yeah.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, there was definite forceful contact. I mean, it was just a petty, cheap play, cheap shot.
Yeah, totally. But it was just called a regular foul.
It's been upgraded.
Yeah.
Not that. I mean,
That's a big deal.
Whatever.
Oh, it's been upgraded.
A day later, they upgraded it to flagrant one.
Flagrant one.
Oh, that's like diddly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just before I let you go, I'm the Iowa needs a center guy.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I mean, you could say.
Congratulations.
I've called several times.
Yeah, no, I remember.
Iowa men.
Yeah.
And I didn't get back to you because Mr. Steve and I got into it a little bit last week.
He's ready to go right now once he drops his
Where
phone.
is this going?
Yeah, where are we going? We know you think they need a center.
Yeah.
The closest thing they have right now is Owen.
No. But, well, now I just lost my train of thought. But I was just going to say, you, Pat, and you guys kind of filled me in. I kind of forgot about the backup big men that Iowa has.
Evan Bronze?
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And then, Mr. Steve was, every time I tried to call back to say, you guys, yeah, okay, I remember now.
Shut up, goddamn.
Okay.
This, well, Jesus Christ.
It was dragging.
Yeah. Get to the point.
What if he calls back?
Carter was hanging up on him. Is that okay?
It's my show, but it's your world.
I'm hey, Mr. Steve, what the hell?
You don't like that?
You've been called worse.
You have been called worse.
Oh, and Mr. Steve did what he did because he evidently hates you.
No, I don't dislike the guy. He does have a problem getting to his
don't
point.
hate him.
Yes.
His calls tend to
I
drag.
don't hate him.
We actually have 3 centers on the team, counting
Well,
Riley.
I forgot about Riley Mulvey, and he's the only center on the team. Owen Freeman's a power forward who can play center, but he's a power forward. Evan Brown's is a power forward,
Yes.
6'9". Riley Mulvey is he's a 6'11" center. I forgot all about him.
Yeah.
I mean, he redshirted last year, and so we'll see.
What I wanted to say about Carter.
Carter, Kennedy, are we
Kennedy.
back to Kennedy?
Yeah.
Or Jimmy?
Kennedy.
Kennedy.
I know, but I like saying Kennedy because it's spelled
That's
Kennedy.
how it's spelled.
Yeah.
I say Kennedy.
Anyway, she was kicked off of one team because she was going to kill.
Yeah, I saw people
It was
bringing.
Atlanta, wasn't it?
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
people bringing up her past as part of the.
Yeah, she's got
she's-
issues.
Yeah.
She does now. She's evil, and
Well, I don't know that she's evil.
Well, I'm
but
just saying that's what the pro.
She wants to fight.
It's become. She's a tough girl.
It's reminding. It's kind of like people were asking on social media, what do they want to become? The WWE? I mean, they want that.
Well, then at least Trump would come and say.
I thought somebody else said it's more like roller derby.
Well, wouldn't Trump come and see him? Well, no, that's Ultimate Fighting. He goes.
Yeah, he likes Ultimate Fighting.
But I don't get Carter. She's tough. I get all that, but that wasn't tough what she did the other day. That was a cheap.
No.
And then the way she handled it in the press conference, don't do a cheap shot if you don't want to be asked about it. That's how I look at it. The media had and then I didn't like Teresa Witherspoon as much as I respect her as a player. I didn't like her saying that's enough. No, it's not enough. If the media wants to ask about that, they have every right to ask about that. I hate it when people try to tell the media what they should do in that type of situation. That was news. Caitlin talked about it. Carter could talk about it. I thought Caitlin handled it. Now, if people outside were listening to us, these are just 3 Caitlin suck-up homers, blah, blah, blah. No, I mean...
Well, the problem they're going to have is, us Caitlin suck-up homers will keep watching. But people that aren't Caitlin suck-up holders in other states that are following this, they're going to... there's tons of comments all over social media. This isn't what I came to see. I don't.
No, that team's got to get better, folks. Or that's.
I'm losing a little bit of interest. I'm not scheduling around Caitlin's games anymore because their team sucks.
It was really hard to watch that game.
It sounds like yesterday was hard to watch, but I'm not putting that any on Caitlin. It's almost like they have 6 days off.
The team isn't one person.
It's all 6 days. She has 6 days off, right?
Yeah.
Well, from counting yesterday.
So it'll be nice to let her have a little space from everybody. Let her alone for a couple days. The problem is, though, now anytime the Indiana Fever tweets anything, it shows up on my timeline, even though I don't follow them. I get Indiana Fever tweets like what they're eating for lunch. Here they are getting off their bus. Here they are walking through the hotel lobby.
Yeah.
Here they are. Maybe it's just me, but I don't need that much. Do you guys?
Actually, she's only got 4 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
That'll feel
really
good, though.
don't.
That'll
Yeah,
be
it
4
will.
days. That'll really help her, I think, physically and mentally.
She'll get her legs back, and
Their-
so will the
and
other
her mind.
players.
Man,
And they'll have a practice. They haven't had a practice.
But I didn't. When I was watching Saturday, she was playing off the ball for most of the time, and I just don't get that. Especially when she's not shooting well from 3. Why have her play off the ball?
I think because Kelsey Mitchell was their main.
Well, this was with
Erica.
This was with Wheeler, but even Kelsey Mitchell's not a point guard.
Well, she brought the ball up a lot.
But that's what I'm saying. It makes no sense, and to have Caitlin playing off the ball and going and just basically standing on the baseline or the sideline until the play might come to her. That just makes
and they don't pass to her.
Caitlin should be the one with the ball getting Kelsey Mitchell shots,
Yes,
not the other way
I
around.
agree.
And I just don't get it. It just seems to me it seems like simple basketball. Did you ever see John Stockton playing off the ball?
No.
No, you never saw that. Magic Johnson's not because he was a freak. He was 6'9". His rookie year, he played center when Jabbar was out and scored 42 points in the NBA championship game. But for the most part, Magic Johnson played with the ball in his hands.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And Stephen Curry, he can do both. He can play off the ball, whatever. But I think Caitlin, for her level, is even a better passer than Stephen Curry. I don't think she's a better shooter. But I just think when you do what you do with her as a shooting guard, you're taking away her best skill, which is passing the ball. And I don't know. I can't imagine it's just the head coach doing that. Lynn Dunn must believe in Caitlin playing off the ball, but it's not working.
No, it's not. And when she breaks open, she doesn't get the ball very often.
No, she doesn't.
And when she does get it, she's been missing the shots.
Missing shots, open shots.
And just like the rest of her teammates.
And just to show she is human, I think she's pressing a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
I think when she's shooting that three now, she's not at Iowa saying, yeah, that thing's going. I think she's like, God, I hope that goes in. And I think that's part of being human and adjusting. So.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
You want to get Kennedy Carter on the radio here?
Yeah, get it.
Would you scrap with her?
Yeah. Well,
what if she threatened to come in here and kick your ass?
And she could.
I'd take her seriously.
Hey, little guy.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, there's some in Indiana, in Indianapolis, in the newspaper, there's some people that are reporting that even Caitlin's teammates are jealous.
Well, but where that's coming from is people are upset why none of her teammates have stood up for her on the court. I mean, there's this narrative, they need to get a couple goons on that team. No, the WNBA does not need goons. This isn't 1970 and 80s NBA. They don't need that. I mean, but you can ask yourself, it did seem kind of weird that after that Carter check, it didn't seem like anybody really got in Carter's face from Caitlin's team. You would like to have seen that. Now, I do know when Caitlin was getting into it with Vivian Vance or whatever her name is,
Lucy.
Didn't Aaliyah Boston come and restrain Caitlin, if I remember correctly?
Yes.
She did that one. So, what was that girl's name?
Victoria Vivian, was it?
It's easier just to say Vivian Vance.
Jesus.
But, yeah, it's I will say the nice thing is, too, for us, selfishly, it gives us something to talk about in first Monday in June. It's June.
Yeah, it is. I believe it's turning off a lot of the national. We'll see when the ratings come out.
And you're starting to see, too, some of the other games, some of those arenas aren't very full.
If she's not there.
Yeah.
They're not full.
They're not.
No. And let's say she, God forbid, would have a high ankle sprains out for 2-3 weeks, those fever games would.
Oh, my God.
They wouldn't be as full.
Yeah. No.
I think everybody deep down knows that. I think that's part of where the resentment and jealousy comes from. I think they know that, part of the reason I don't like her is because I can't do what she does. And I think that causes resentment.
I think part of it is that, and I think part of it is they know that she, as far as these endorsements and everything, that she's made for life now.
Yeah.
Well, that falls under she's got something I don't.
Yes,
and
sure.
I can't achieve that. And
Which
I do
is
think,
jealousy.
And I do think you're right. You'd be naive to say that race isn't.
No, of
part.
course it's a factor.
Of course it is.
But it sure isn't
the only
factor.
The only one, like these idiots on Twitter want you to think, just these tribal mouth breathers.
I think it's more jealousy than anything else.
Well, yeah.
Oh, jealousy and resentment, but they go hand in hand.
It could go race. It could go, sexuality. I mean, Catholic. It's
from Iowa.
Yeah, from Iowa.
That doesn't help her. I mean,
no, it really doesn't.
No, it doesn't. So the smartest thing she did was get off social media, which I read she did.
And same with Leah Boston.
Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing to accomplish by going on there, but just from writing that.
Nothing to accomplish for anyone.
No.
But yeah, it's just amazing how everything now turns into tribalism.
Yeah.
I mean, anything, whether it's sports at all, just all you have to be categorized.
Well, we're getting a lot of complaints, and rightfully so. Mariette Miller Meek's ad starts off with Caitlin playing and mentions Caitlin like Caitlin's
endorsing Mariette Miller Meeks.
Yeah, and that's the way it's supposed to sound.
Yes.
But that sucks. She hasn't endorsed anyone.
No.
Nor should she.
Well,
if Caitlin wanted to endorse somebody, that's her own business.
But she doesn't want to.
But if she doesn't want to, then she shouldn't.
Yeah, she's smart enough to know that,
that half of her fans are probably Republican and half of them are Democrat.
Yeah, I mean, she's smart enough to know that.
And some might be libertarians and some might be nothing.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, I mean, she could if she wanted to, and that would be fine. But she's going to turn off a lot of people. So she hasn't done that. But, again, it's another,
You remember how Michael Jordan was? He didn't take a stand. He got criticized by some, but he didn't want to offend anybody. Because I remember him. What was his quote? Republicans buy shoes too, or something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
If that's how they want to be, that is their right. And I'm not saying that's what Caitlin's doing. We have no idea what Caitlin's doing. To be honest with you, I don't care what Caitlin's political
I
views
don't
are.
care.
Couldn't care less what she thinks.
I could care what any damn
celebrity thinks about anything.
Or any.
Yes.
Who cares?
I've always thought celebrity endorsements were, and the way Robert De Niro went down there and yelled and screamed, that was a carnival act. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Can you imagine walking and seeing him yelling and screaming in the street? I mean, I actually laughed at parts of it.
Well, it's kind of funny.
Well, it's funny, but it's not serious. I mean,
De Niro. Look, I like De Niro,
but I don't care I don't care that he hates Trump.
Yeah.
It accomplishes nothing.
No, I don't
for me.
care.
Just thought whoever idea that was stupid. I mean, but whatever. I mean, that's just. But yeah, the WNBA. They now the Fever have sent tape showing these plays, but okay, what's that going to accomplish? I mean,
maybe
more apt to call a flagrant during the game if
exactly.
if that happens now, and then maybe that will stop some of this stuff. But I don't think it'll do anything to lower the resentment and the hate that seems to be. No. I figured there'd be some of this. I mean, because let's face it, she's like nobody else. I didn't think it would be to this extreme. And in fairness to her, I read something else. She's the first player to have 150 point. Another milestone.
She and Sabrina Ionescu.
So this narrative that's starting out there now that she's slowly turning into a flop. No, that's not the case. She's just on a really bad team. And she's still producing decent numbers despite not playing anywhere close to her potential.
No.
I mean, I think everything will change for her when she starts being more comfortable shooting threes. For something's got into her head. But I also think she has tired legs too.
I think.
And if you play basketball, especially if you've taken perimeter shots, the legs are the most important thing. If you don't have them, everything falls off. Your muscle memory gets all screwed up and
they haven't even had time to get in and shoot shots.
No, and I do agree, though, with other people that she needs to spend some time in the weight room.
No, for sure.
She needs to spend some time in there because these are full-grown, powerful, strong, developed women that she's going up against. You saw Carter. She's built.
Yes, she
is. I guess if they went Ultimate Fighting, I'm probably taking Carter in that one, And I think Carter was trying to scare her and intimidate her, too.
Sure.
She was being mean. She seems like she's kind of a mean person.
No, that's what she is. I mean,
she seemed mean in the postgame too.
She's been benched on teams. She played in Europe. She got in trouble in Europe. No, she's got a problem where she wants to fight people, and I mean, she wants to fight. She wants to fight her own teammates.
Yeah, maybe she should get into Ultimate Fighting.
Maybe she will because
she's a good player. I mean, she's a good player. Didn't she have 18?
No, she is a good player.
No, that's why she keeps popping up in the WNBA.
Because she's a good player. They're willing to put up with it if you can play.
Yeah. And, I mean, people had this vision of the WNBA. They didn't care. Okay, now that Caitlin's on, it's a big attraction and everything. But they didn't realize, I don't know, because they're girls, they didn't realize how mean and rough they can be.
But they're good, too.
They're good, yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't realize that it was going to be this intense of a game.
And people were making fun of Carter. Some people, her $64,000 a year salary for playing basketball, you're making fun of that? I mean, there's a lot of people in this country that don't make $60,000 a year doing
most of the people
Most people don't.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that of all the things to make fun of her for that, and I guarantee the person that started that post on Twitter probably doesn't make $60,000 a year, and they were making fun of her for doing that's her basketball self. More power to her. I think that's great.
Does she have any endorsements?
I have no idea. But like Tom said, most of the people in this country don't make $60,000.
No.
She does it by herself playing basketball. And people are making fun of her. That's what I don't. There's so many more ways to show your dislike for Kennedy Carter because I'll tell you what though, she's now more famous than she ever would have been. I mean, if she was looking for fame, regardless how you get it, she's got it now. We're always going to remember the name Kennedy Carter now.
Well, I remembered her just the way she spelled her name. I remember
I'd
seeing her before.
I had never heard of her before.
I can't remember who she played for, but I remember at the time seeing it, saying, "Well, that's
because, like I said, I never followed the WNBA until Caitlin. I would Megan, but Megan was never on TV, and there's lots of times Megan didn't play. You know, but like I said, if it's Kate or Caitlin or Megan, I'll watch. But if not, I'm still not there yet. And that's up to the WNBA to attract people like me, not up to me to say, oh, you know, they need to give me a reason. And doing this stuff is not the best way to do it, to make Caitlin seem almost like the villain. That's not the way to do it in my eyes. I just think it's your biting the hand that feeds you, like I said.
Well, and it's not good to make Caitlin look like she's flopping either.
That's what they want, though.
But I'm not saying she didn't flop on that play. I think she sold it.
I think Steve means not.
Oh,
performing.
I see what you mean. Oh, she's struggling, but she's still putting up numbers that hardly anybody could do.
In one game, she just scored 30 points.
Yeah, she did. Now the critic would say, well, she's come back with 11 and 3. Yeah, it's different. This is not college.
No,
she never. I mean, college. She had one game. She had 9 points, right?
Yes.
And I think another one she had 12, and then everything else was 20, 30, 40. She's never going to be like that it's never going to be like that in the WNBA.
No.
It's so much more difficult for her to score there than here. Now, if she would ever happen, you put Caitlin on who was the team that just killed them yesterday?
Liberty.
Okay, if you trade Anescu for Caitlin, you put Caitlin on that team, watch what she would do.
She'd be fantastic.
She'd be fantastic.
And Sabrina's fantastic.
Hello.
So I haven't really heard you guys talk about it, but I've heard a lot of talk that race is playing a factor in this. What are your thoughts on that?
Is that what is?
Race. Well, we think it's part of it.
Part of it.
It's part of it. We don't think it's the sole driving force, but obviously it's part of it.
I get the jealousy in that, but I don't understand the hatred. I just don't, because she's bringing a new focus to the WNBA they've never had before. They're seeing crowd levels like never seen before, and yet for some reason there's jealousy out there, and I just don't understand that emotion.
Well, because they feel that they have never gotten their due, and we can do this. I'm scoring more points than she is. Why isn't this happening for me?
And everything she did was in college. She hadn't done anything up here
right.
yet.
That's right.
That's speaking for them.
I just wanted your thoughts on the whole racism thing, because I never thought about that until I was reading some comments that were posted on Twitter yesterday, and they weren't negative.
Well, when I wrote my column,
that, it seemed like racism was playing a factor in this.
When I wrote my column, I didn't mention racism. I don't know. I can't get in Kennedy Carter's. I don't know if racism is the driving force. I can only say I thought it was a cheap shot. And
I don't know that it's the driving force, but it's there.
But
she's been called by posters on social media the Great White Hope. That's what, and they've been black posters.
Yeah, but we're talking about posters on freaking Twitter. I mean, that could be
Facebook.
That could be some idiot in their basement. I mean, why even give those morons credibility?
They always are in their basement, aren't they?
Well, I've asked you why
with their wife beaters.
But I asked you why they can't be upstairs, and you never really gave me an answer. Why are they never up? Why are they always in the basement?
I don't believe their family wants anything to do with it.
But what does it matter if they're upstairs or in the basement? I mean, if they're upstairs,
mom's cutting the crust off the grilled cheese when she brings them down to her son. And
why can't she bring them up?
Because she doesn't.
He's got a jar of lotion, giant jar of lotion, right next to him in the
with
basement.
A big image of who?
Kennedy Carter.
All right, well, you guys have a great day.
We drove him away.
Thanks, you too.
We drove him away. He's like, I've had enough of this.
So, yeah, it's unfortunate. And, Caitlin then, after that game, comes back and lays an egg. Doesn't help.
That doesn't help. No, that gives her critics, whatever. You got to try to ignore it. But some of the comments from what I wrote the other day, though, I knew they were coming. I didn't do much last week. Like I said, I took last week, and I'm not going to do much this week unless there's news. I mean, Iowa did get a quarterback. They've got 5 quarterbacks now on the roster. This guy, he didn't appear in any games for Colorado State last year. As a freshman, he appeared in 4.
And his stats were not good.
No, I mean, they're obviously. It was funny. Somebody reached out to me. So, Pat, are you going to write about? You've been pretty critical of the quarterbacks. You're going to write about the serious upgrade that we've made? And I'm like, what do you mean? I mean,
I think probably Brendan's an upgrade over. Deacon.
I would say so, but I still need to see it.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, he was saying to this guy, we got another. I mean, the kid from Colorado State, I have nothing. I mean, there's nothing to base it on.
Just looking at his stats at Colorado State, as few as they were, he had 20-some passes, 2 interceptions, passed for about 25%. I mean, it was abysmal.
And Sullivan had okay stats for a really bad offense. I mean, I don't know if Brendan Sullivan's going to be a major upgrade from like Joe Labus. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Labus won a bowl game.
Yeah, he did.
Doing Brendan Sullivan type things. So, I'm just not ready to say that the problems at quarterback are fixed because of guys they're bringing in. I mean, I have to wait and see.
I mean, I guess, yeah, we do, but it's got to be better than Deacon. They all have to be better than Deacon.
Okay, then what about, Deacon wasn't much worse than what Cade was in the first 5 games.
Well, that's true. Cade was not good.
Look at Cade's stats.
Well, Cade shouldn't have been playing probably.
But he was, though.
Yeah,
so that's, and he was playing, and he didn't have a knee injury then. He had a quad issue, but he was fine enough to be medically cleared and to play, and the offense was horrible. That's what seems to be.
Certainly was.
That's what seems to be glossed over. Some people act like those first 5 games, like yes, Deacon was bad, but so was Cade.
Yes, he was.
He barely completed 50% of his passes. So then you wonder, okay, yeah, as bad as now we'll see. Like I said, I just think there's going to be a lot of people assuming things are fixed when.
Well, and people are also assuming that if Cade's healthy, he's going to look like he did at Michigan, and he isn't.
No, because he doesn't have Michigan.
He doesn't have that
anywhere close to having Michigan supporting cast.
No,
I mean nothing close. So many of those players are now in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, I think people are missing something here.
2 running backs. At least 7 or 8 of those. You could even throw Eric All in there.
Yeah.
There's like 8 of those offensive guys that are now in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 running backs, the quarterback that beat Cade out. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm with you. I guess you never say never about it being worse than it was. But it would be really hard to be worse than they were last year.
It'd be really hard. But I said it the year before. I said that we can't be any worse than we were. So I hesitate to say that line again.
Well, and if they are anywhere close to last year, then I doubt Cade starts every game. Cade's going to be the starter. I don't think he'll do anything other than get injured to where he loses the job to Brendan Sullivan in preseason. You know how loyal Kirk is to his number 1 quarterbacks. But when it's out there and we can all see it, if they're sputtering, let's say they're 3-2 after 5 games, and it's just not. It looks better than last year, but it's still just not really going. I could see them giving Sullivan. That's why I think they brought him in.
Indeed.
And my guess is Sullivan would expect to go in at some point. I think Cade's leash is shorter this coming year than it was last year.
But Kirk has never been one to put in the second string guy until it's
too late. So maybe that will change with the addition of Brendan Sullivan.
And Lester, maybe
Lester has some say in that too. So yes, I do think Kirk tends to wait too long before making a quarterback switch, but a lot of it's just going to depend. We're going to be able to see how healthy Cade is in that season opener.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, if he's still unable to move the pocket or move much, then it's going to be a struggle. I mean, because that's part of what I thought made him attractive as far as being a different type of quarterback for Iowa, was that he could move a little bit when he was healthy, but he's also had 2 season-ending knee injuries. And this last one he had happened, remember, he was running a quarterback draw, and it just buckled. Yeah. Nobody even hit him. Oh. So, but they do have an insurance policy in Brendan Sullivan, and I think Sullivan looks at it as, I'm more than an insurance policy. If he struggles, man, I'd better get a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, if Cade, it'll be interesting. Let's say Cade just plays okay all year. I mean, he's okay. Doesn't
55% passing.
Yeah, they go 8-5 or whatever. Do you think Sullivan stays and comes back for that? I mean, he's in a tough situation because I believe he only has 2 years of eligibility.
2, yeah.
So does he say, okay, Cade's gone, now I'll get my 1 year after not? That's going to be an interesting dynamic with him.
It's the quarterbacks everywhere. You know?
Yep. No, it is.
Boy, they got a quick trigger, man.
They do.
I'm not playing. I want to play. I'm going.
I'm not playing. I'm not staying. That's kind of how it is. So,
yeah.
Should we take a break and regroup and come back?
We're going to regroup, get our legs back.
1-800-800-ROSE. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country. 1-800-800-ROSE. It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist. 1-800-800-ROSE. Remember,
for a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Hertine and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site, so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Hertine and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Hertine and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HertineandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
Don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
On an athletic team, you need team players, good athletes, superior equipment, and the best coaches available. In real estate, you need to have a good title and settlement team at your disposal. Hi, this is Steve Anderson. Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing, you need quality title and settlement services. Consider the team at Hawkeye Title. Give us a call at 351-8600. Hawkeye Title and Settlement, the team you love, the people you trust.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
Car won't go into gear? Call Premier. Premier Automotive in North Liberty offers full-service mechanical auto repair, in addition to being Eastern Iowa's most trusted name in auto body repair. Use Premier for all your auto repair needs: brakes, oil changes, air conditioning, diagnostics, transmissions, or preventative maintenance. Whether you hit a deer or your car won't go into gear, see Premier Automotive in North Liberty.
Tavern Blue on the Coralville Strip offers the ultimate sizzle of wood-fired pizza perfection. Elevate your pizza game with over 20 wood-fired pizzas, ranging from the Tony Pepperoni, the Philly Cheesesteak Pizza, Mary Margarita, and the Tavern Supreme. From the freshest ingredients, Tavern Blue cooks their pizzas to mouth-watering perfection in their wood-fired oven, which helps bring out those old-world flavors. Fresh creative salads, tacos, burgers, signature cocktails, beer, and wine are just a taste of what Tavern Blue has to offer. Tavern Blue is a family-friendly establishment that offers mini golf, table games, darts, and foosball. Go to tavernblue.com for the latest news, events, and specials, along with full menu options. Once again, that's tavernblue.com.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy, 20,000 square foot indoor facility, holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams, is open to the public.
Our top level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential, develop a strong work ethic, and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
When you go to a family restaurant, you want 3 things. 1, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. 2, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And 3, you want to be treated like family. You get all 3 at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches. And special ribeye and shrimp nights. Daily specials at each location. And no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at midtownfamily.com. The family's waiting for you. GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit supples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246.
Hey, Iowa, we want your trade-ins. It's that simple. Sedans, coupes, SUVs, vans, trucks. We want them all. At Deary Ford in Iowa City. If you don't need it, don't want it, can't afford it, we'll pay top market value for your trade. If you got a trade, you got a deal. 0% financing available. Plus huge discounts on over 60 new vehicles in stock. So bring us your trade-in. We want them all. Deary Ford in Iowa City. Hurry in or shop online at DearyFord.com.
Hi, this is Bill Leixenring from the Oxyoke Inn. The Oxyoke Inn is now serving daily. Our Oxyoke family is ready to serve you with the same quality of food and service you've come to trust since 1940. Now serving lunch, dinner, banquets, and carry-out daily with 4 portion sizes. Sundays featuring our famous brunch buffet. You can also order curbside carryout and pies to go online and take the comforting taste of the Oxyoke home to your family's table. Visit oxyokeinn.com for hours, menus, reservations, carryout, specials, and gift cards. From our Oxyoke family to yours, we can't wait to see you again soon. Oxyoke Inn, in the heart of Amana.
The Oxyoke Inn.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
Meteorologist Brittany Merlot. Partly cloudy today and still warm as high temperatures climb to the low 80s. Winds are a bit breezy out of the south. Chances of showers and thunderstorms spark up this afternoon and into the evening. Some could be strong with gusty winds and hail, but they do wind down overnight, giving way to some sunshine to start tomorrow before more rain rolls in. That's the forecast on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Right now, it's 75 degrees.
All right.
KCJJ weather. Brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
Couple bad edits in that forecast.
According to WeatherBug, right now there's a 20% chance of rain at 11 o'clock 25, 12 o'clock 25, 1 o'clock 25, 2 o'clock 25.
What, yours are 80, 90, 80? 95.
Take cover now.
Run for your life.
No rain till 4 o'clock. No rain till 4.
What do you mean till 4?
4 o'clock it starts lightning and thundering. 5 o'clock lightning and thundering. 6 the same.
So what's the
same.
percentage? 100%? Because I remember you read
the. Let's see. Starts out at 31, goes to 60, 60, 60, 57, 54.
Okay, so there's
41.
There's a huge disparity.
Yes. But one of you guys read off the forecast the other day. We were in here, and it was rain every night. And if we had any rain in... When's the last time we
did have rain?
We had a little tiny bit of rain. But it wasn't like the forecast.
No.
The forecast said it was a 50 to 60% chance of rain every night last week, and it just didn't. I'd like to get a little more rain. My backyard's starting to get brown.
Okay, Bug says no higher than 35% probability and no thunderstorms whatsoever.
So who do you believe?
You have to believe in God.
That's the only
You have
answer.
to?
So you're saying God is the only solution in this case?
I don't know. The Weather Service and Brittany with bad edits in her forecast.
Yeah, but she uses the word feisty.
I like her.
I like her too.
But you can clearly hear her edits today.
But she
It's
calls
clicking.
she calls weather feisty.
Well, today they're going to spark up. No, I don't have a problem now with her delivery or words or anything, but that
Poor
was-
edit.
Yeah.
I promise you're the only one of the three of us who noticed.
I didn't. Yeah, I did not notice. But hey, that's why he's over there and we're over here.
There you go.
Why is that?
I don't know. Back to.
All right,
back
what
to
do you
the-
think of the final four of the announcing team to go with Dolph? Have you heard the rumor?
I have not, but like I said, Tom, I was off the grid a lot last week.
Yeah. Well, this is from Kakert, so I tend to.
I would
believe
imagine
Tom.
because he's probably hearing that from Swarm Connections, possibly.
Yeah, the first person that I heard it from was the equivalent of Fat Ass Hawk, so I didn't think.
But nothing has
of
been
it.
reported, is what
Nothing's
I'm
been reported. Except, well, Tom Kakert says
on his message. That's different than writing a story,
It
article.
is.
Yeah, I mean,
It
if
is.
it's on a message board, yeah, I've heard speculation.
So the four are Matt Vandenberg, Nate Kading, Pat Anger, and Mitch King.
Then my guess is Anthony Herron didn't want to do it.
That would be my guess, too. Just too bad, because I think he would have been a fabulous choice.
Oh, my guess is, though, he just didn't have the time to do that, and it probably didn't make sense financially for him because
Yeah,
it's obviously not a
probably not.
full-time job. I mean, I'm hearing those four. I don't know who I don't really have a preference on any of them. I am a little surprised because do any of them have any radio experience?
No, but they've
Ed
got-
Podolak was
Well, Nate Kading has a little.
I mean, Ed Podolak was working for NBC when he wasn't just some former Hawkeye they took off the street because they liked him. I mean, he had experience.
And I know Meerkat does a podcast.
He does a podcast with his wife.
Laura. Yeah.
And he works for Urban Acres, and
yeah.
they advertise with Hawk Fanatic. So, God, give him the job. There we go. But, yeah, no, I've heard, I mean, I'm trying to think. Mitch King was, all those other names we've talked about, that rumors have been out there for a while. But like I said, until Iowa releases something, I'm not comfortable. Well, we can speculate all we want, but like I said, of all those, and I haven't reached out to Anthony. Possibly I will see if he'll talk off the record because Anthony's not going to want to come out and say anything on the. Oh, we talked, but it's just not. And maybe he will if he did. But I mean, he would be my choice. Way over
Hands
any
down.
of those,
Oh,
hands
sure.
down, not even close.
Sure.
But
Hello.
I'm guessing he didn't want it.
Hello.
Hello. Well, if you wanted to stay along the line of Ed Podolak, Nate Kading would be it.
Well,
How's
I've
that?
heard him before, and he's pretty good.
But,
No, what I was saying, Ed Podolak was working for NBC TV when Iowa hired him. I mean, that's the difference.
That's the level.
Well, Nate has done some things, but they've been with local. high
Yeah, he hasn't.
schools.
He wasn't like. I mean, Ed was Ed was doing.
Yeah.
He was working for NBC.
Well, Nate was here for 1 year, then he was at Channel 9 for 1 year. That's all I really know what he's done.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't.
And as we mentioned, Meerkats does the
podcast
with his wife.
And who were the other two? Mitch King
and Pat Anger.
Okay.
Well, I'm not sure I know about any of them too much, so I wouldn't be able to figure out who I really want to listen to. But I'm wondering, how come the Big Ten can't do anything in the softball World Series or the
other teams
the baseball?
The other teams are better.
The same reason the baseball teams can't compete particularly, because they don't get the best athletes.
Yeah, the other teams are better. I mean,
they play year-round.
I mean, Indiana and Illinois.
Do you think it has anything to do with we're up north and most of the teams are the southern teams?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that has helped them get better players. So does NIL, but boy, Illinois and Indiana just got killed.
Yeah, I saw
just
that.
Wiped out. It was
And then maybe next year we'll have somebody in the softball with UCLA.
Yeah.
Well, probably.
Because they've always been in there.
If you can't beat them, add them.
Yeah. And Big 12, they're always having a bunch in there. But two of the Big 12 and the ones that are going for titles are going to go to the SEC next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's at Oklahoma and Texas.
Yes, they are.
They're number 1, too.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, you guys have a good day.
All right. You too. Thanks, Karen.
Bye.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of just lopsided scores in this baseball tournament. Just 19-7. I mean, Nebraska was playing to stay alive last night, and I don't know if they ended up winning. I think when I looked, they were down 7-5. But Indiana and Illinois just got destroyed, and I was actually surprised Indiana got in. I mean, they did at least the 3 teams got in, but no, not a good showing by the Big Ten. But I'm not really that surprised. These other teams just college baseball is built for the warm weather schools. It just is. It is. They're not going to move the season back to give these northern schools a better chance. So you just got to face it, and it's just.
Why don't they?
Well, because the southern schools don't want to, and they're the ones calling the shots. They're the ones with the most power and influence. It's political. I mean, they don't want to give in. Why give up a clear advantage you have? Yeah. And so, but it's at least now. I mean, the Big Ten will have some warm weather schools. I mean, Oregon, Oregon's in the tournament. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, the Big Ten's going to have better representation in the NCAA softball and baseball tournaments because of the 4 teams they're bringing in.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, no, it's just simply those teams from the South. There's so many of them too. I mean, they just have so much NIL money. It's just, I mean, it's hard to compete when you see the facilities, how many. It's almost like every other Power 5, Power 4 program has better facilities than Iowa. They really do. Iowa is so far behind with baseball facilities. How they let themselves get so far behind I'm not sure it's easy for me to say how you should spend money, but I'm telling you, all these other schools have facilities that are just way better than when you look at the press box. Iowa's press box is ancient.
Yeah, it is.
And it's just, I mean, they got to get that fixed because it's hard to compete already without supplemental aid, with NIL disadvantages, and I mean, then you throw facilities in there. Rick shouldn't have to be a salesman. He should be more of a coach, but he has to spend so much time in the off season making sure he doesn't lose players.
And getting new turf and new lights and stuff, that's great.
That's great, but they've done that multiple times.
Yes.
It seems like they keep up with that, but everything else around it just stays the same. Yeah. They need more than just new turf.
Well, they do.
So,
well, they needed that big upgrade, and then the person backing out just killed it.
Yeah, and well,
and that wouldn't have been enough, right?
No, but it was a lot. Wasn't it $5 million, something like
10,
that?
I think.
5 or 10. That would have paid for a lot. So, I mean, and yeah, that's funny. Rick broke that on our show back in January, and you could tell how deflated he was. You knew after that was a major setback because Rick basically gave us the impression that everything was on hold now as far as the press box and all the other stuff. So, but Beth did come on and say that they bring up right away. Well, we're completing phase 1, like you said. That's the lights and the turf, great, but I mean they need to get phase 2 done. they've done a lot of phase 1 over and over, but they just have never taken it to phase 2. So, I mean, wrestling got it done. I'll give wrestling credit.
Sure did.
They raised the money. They got it done. I mean, they got it done. That's a beautiful new facility. I don't know if it's going to help them beat Penn State, but hey, I mean, it's, they still got it done. You think it'll help them beat Penn State?
Nope. Nope.
Put a little thought into that.
Oh, I have. Yeah. I know why we can't beat Penn State.
And I don't think anything changes until Cale Sanderson retires.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and he could coach another 15 years.
No, it's Jimmy and Joe's is the problem.
Oh, it definitely is the problem. Yeah.
Although, facilities do help.
They help. That will help. That they certainly don't hurt.
No.
I'm not going there. Their facilities are too good. Have you ever heard that? No way, man. Have you seen how beautiful that place is? I don't want to go there. But no, the baseball facilities, though, it's just unfortunate that they've let it get to where it is right now.
Yeah, because it ain't good.
No, I've been here for 30 years, and that press box hasn't changed.
No.
I mean, we're talking Dwayne Banks.
I know. I did. I broadcast some games in '92.
The difference, though, is back then, though, Iowa didn't have 9 people in the press box because of all the social media. There's no room for hardly any press in the press box because Iowa takes up most of the spaces because the press box is so small.
Yeah, I did some games in '93 from there.
Okay.
City High played some games there.
Hello.
It's me again.
Hey.
Why can't they move that baseball stadium out of there? You can't find parking if the games are at 3:30. They don't let you in there until
well, I guess it would be money.
4:30.
Yeah, it's always
money. If they don't have money to improve the facilities around the stadium that already exists, how can they afford to build a whole new stadium?
Yeah, they can't.
I kept thinking at first they were going to move it. They were talking about it.
Oh, there was all that talk in the 90s and about moving everything west and all that. I mean, it's too bad. I would love to see Kinnick. Part of me would love to see Kinnick Stadium out in the way out there with just a bunch of parking around it. But a lot of people like the ambiance
of a bunch of parking and restaurants.
But a lot of people love
pubs.
what Kinnick stands for the way it is now. But no, it would be money. Answer to your question.
See, the softball, they have their own parking. You don't have to fight people for parking, but you got to fight for parking for baseball. And I think it would have been nice if they would have moved it on.
Oh, I agree with you, but that ship has sailed, at least for now.
Yeah, and I'll probably drown with it.
That's kind of a disrespect.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
We need you to cheer us up.
Yeah. We'll see you guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Carla. Yeah, they need new facilities, but they're not. It's got to come from private donations, according to Beth.
Well, where else is it
and
gonna
same
come
with Carver. Well,
taxpayers.
$100 million from TV, can't you?
Well, it's not there yet. Don't exaggerate yet.
It's only 55.
It's only 55
$million. Jesus.
But yeah, I mean, but still 55 million. As far as facilities, that
well, it doesn't go very far.
Doesn't go very far.
No.
I mean, I'm not sure.
I mean, wasn't the baseball thing going to be around 25 million?
Something like that. I wish they would have moved the baseball field out in the 90s. When they were talking about doing it, they should have moved it. It would be perfect out there with all that. There's so much space still out there that they own, isn't there?
Yeah.
That the university owns. Yeah, but they missed their chance. I remember even hearing talk about Kinnick possibly moving out there someday.
Yeah,
but
we're all going to move Kinnick and.
The hospital was just going to take up all that land, which probably the hospital would love to do.
I'm sure they would.
But I think moving Kinnick, I don't see that happening for 25 years.
I don't see that. I mean, they've already moved the hospital to the Iowa River Landing, and they moved it out to North
It's everywhere.
Liberty. It is.
Downtown.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't see Kinnick ever in anybody's lifetime moving.
Yeah, I've done. I used to think that it might, but now I mean, baseball, that's different. I could still see a day when maybe baseball would move out there. They've got all that space out there. I don't know what they do with it.
You know, when I was had a doctor's appointment last week, and they got to check my blood levels on occasion on the meds I'm on, and she goes, "Well, where do you want to go?" And he pulls up a map on the computer, and it's like, what are you closest to? You know, I mean, which is really convenient.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's
but
weird.
It's amazing now everywhere that they are.
It's weird now. I get stuff from the university. I'm like, what's this coming from the University of Iowa? It's my stuff I used to get from Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the last check I wrote, I owed $95 from my physical, part of what my insurance doesn't cover. And I wrote the check to Mercy, but I think actually it probably should have been written to the university. But they never sent it back to me. But I got something in the mail saying from now on, make all your checks out to. So.
Well, we said something. What is it? U of I Healthcare. I don't know. We're supposed to say something, and when we don't say it right, they email us and tell us, somebody is listening somewhere and keeping track of what we say.
Well, things change
because they want us to be specific.
Well, things change too because I was supposed to have my follow-up colonoscopy in May of this. Never heard back, called, and they have no record of it. So now I got to put on a waiting. I had one 3 years ago, but they wanted me to come back in May of. But that was Mercy, and I think a lot of this stuff gets lost in translation, doesn't it? In transition, because now
now all you'll have to do is sit on a Roku, and you'll be fine.
And they'll give me that's like a colonoscopy.
It's kind of like that.
All right.
So when is the great Roku smart TV test?
I need to figure that out.
Here's what I'm going to do, because it's cheaper. I could go to Best Buy or whatever, but what I'm going to do, and I'm going to order you a Roku. If you don't use it, I'll use it.
Okay.
But I will.
I don't even know what it is.
I will have the station provide you with one Roku.
It's basically a data stick.
Kind of.
Where do you stick
what
it?
Is.
Where do you stick it?
In your HDMI
port.
Okay.
And then we will come and see whether you have an HDMI port, which I'm sure you do.
Even on a TV that's 13, 14 years old?
Yeah.
It's a Samsung?
Yeah.
Still
I've got, mine is 13 up in the bedroom, and it's got an HDMI port. And probably when you had Mediacom boxes, what are you looking at?
Looking at the HDMI port on this.
I have a feeling when I call Mediacom to tell them that I'm ready to drop their television service, they're going to yes, they're going to all be celebrating the home office. We lost another TV subscriber.
Going to send you a cake.
This is great. Thank you, Mr. Harty. Just for that, we're going to lower your internet down to $70 a month now that we don't have to deal with TV anymore.
We never want to talk to you again.
That's how it seems. Now, my internet, you've got me paranoid about my internet. I'm willing to give Mediacom a chance under this new setup. Now, if I don't like it, I can switch. But yeah. I just, like I said.
No, I mean, if we put in the Roku, and it's still doing the same crap, it's your internet. It's not the Roku. I know that much.
Okay, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Because I'm definitely, like I said, I'm not going to start in August. Start spending $390 a month for.
Okay, you usually pick up the toilet paper.
Yes, I forgot.
Yeah, so you forgot.
I went to Staples. I had a list of stuff I did not.
You guys don't have any here right now?
No. So Saturday morning, I ordered toilet paper.
Do our listeners need to be hearing this?
Yes, from Amazon.
You got one ply, right?
No, I got 2 ply. But
we were supposed to have 1 ply. That screwed up our septic system the last time. It has to be 1 ply.
Here goes lunch.
No, seriously, we can't use that.
Okay, then.
No pooping.
I'll take it home.
There you go.
Well, will you get 1 ply then?
Mm-hmm.
For now, though, it's no pooping, right?
Yeah, no, you old. No.
No pooping. Put that on the door.
Okay, get 1 ply. I couldn't get 1 ply from Amazon.
They don't offer it?
They said no. And they sent toilet paper here, and then they also sent it to my house.
So you should be set then.
Yeah.
Who do you blame it on? I'd blame it on either the WNBA or Trump. One of the two. Or Biden, too.
I blame it on Kennedy Carter.
Yeah, Kennedy Carter.
Yeah, Kennedy Carter.
Isn't Hunter's trial starting today or jury selection?
Yeah.
Or this is the one for being a felon with a gun?
Yeah.
You know what? If they find him guilty, I'm going to be okay with that.
Hunter Biden?
I'm going to trust the jury, and I will not vote for him for
Couldn't
president.
care less about Hunter Biden.
I could not.
If he's committed a crime,
Then
fine.
fine.
Yeah.
You know,
Nail him.
If it deserves jail time, lock him up.
You bet. No problem.
I don't care.
Don't
And
either.
if Joe goes on whining and tries to use his power to, I don't think he will.
I don't
then
think he will.
And if he did, I would disagree with that.
I would too.
You know why? You know what we're being? Objective. Objectivity.
I don't care.
I don't either.
I don't
If
care
he
about
did something.
Listen, I don't care about either one. I don't care that Trump's a felon. I wouldn't have voted for him if he wasn't a felon. I hate.
I wouldn't have voted for him under any circumstances.
Yeah, under any circumstances whatsoever. It did nothing to change my mind. Hunter Biden's not running for office. I feel bad for President Biden or anybody whose
whose kid brings shame and embarrassment to the family.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But
and has Hunter Biden benefited from being the son of Joe? Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
everyone with privilege benefits from privilege.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Molly. I mean, without you, she wouldn't be part of this machine. Think about it. I mean,
I don't know that. He's pretty.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but I think it helped her get in the door, right?
Might have.
It probably helped her get in the door,
I'm kidding.
but well, probably did because she's. Well, you didn't do it. Billy did it.
Yeah.
Billy said, and I listened to when you told me she was on the Knox College radio station.
Yeah.
I listened to it, and it was on a stream, and she was, she was talking to another, student, and they were kind of funny.
The other student is an MD. No.
Well, and we all benefit. I remember I got to pick the dorm I wanted to live in, the floor I wanted to live in, the actual room I wanted to live in, and I think a big part of that was because my mom worked there. I mean, it's just everyone benefits. A lot of people benefit from. There's been other ways I've benefited from nepotism. We all do.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was joking about Molly. I was trying to say, I mean, Hunter Biden, yes, he has benefited a lot from being Joe Biden's son.
Of course.
Of course. I mean, that's just the way it works.
I can't
Trump's
say that,
all benefited
from
by
being his
Trump's
son,
kid.
and she benefited from being his dad's
I can't
kid.
say that Shane's benefited from this.
Well, not everybody benefits from it.
Yeah.
He overcame nepotism.
Well, he didn't work here. Shane never worked.
Yeah, he overcame the chance for nepotism. He didn't need it.
Yeah.
He had bigger fish to fry.
Evidently.
Different fish.
Yeah.
Different fish.
No, but I don't know that. I don't know that.
But do you think do you think they'll find him guilty?
No.
See, I think they might.
Well,
there's pretty strong evidence.
They might, but it's going to go to appeal, and he's
just like Trump's is going to go to appeal.
Yeah. But Trump's got a chance that they won't, that they'll overturn it. But
I could see it.
Hunter Biden, the problem they got to prove that he knew that he was an addict.
Yeah. So I mean,
because when you're an addict,
it's going to be a rough trial for him because it's going to revisit some demons.
Yeah.
For him, and that's just what the opposition wants. They want him to suffer, and they want him to hurt, and they want his dad to suffer because that's where we are, man. One side hates the other. Yeah. Hate.
Hey, if Hunter Biden broke the law, put him in jail. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And the same with Trump, broke the law.
What if they
felon? Go to put him in jail.
What if they put him in the same? They're like cellmates. Would you like to see that? That would be good. Wouldn't that be interesting?
It would be interesting. Can't wait for the debate on CNN.
I don't. I'm not convinced it's going to happen.
I don't think it'll happen either.
You mean Trump and Biden?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen. And I really don't. If it happens, I'll probably watch it. But it's so boring.
It won't matter.
Oh no,
it's not gonna matter, but it's gonna be as awkward to the both of them as it can be.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of Trump talking with his mic shut off to an empty room, because I don't think any of that's going to. If Biden's saying stuff that he disagrees with, he's going to interrupt, even though they're going to turn his mic off. I just think it's going to be a carnival act. Two old dithering fools.
Dithering.
That's what they're going to call.
Is that what you look at
first
me
debate?
Do you look at me as an old?
You're not running for
fool?
president.
Do you look at me as a dithering fool anyway?
No, not necessarily. But you're not. If you were running for president, I'd probably, but you're not. You had your chance in politics. It passed you by, and you've moved on.
And it didn't go well.
It did not go well at all.
You did not have a strong enough base. What was it? You were trying to make Iowa City great again, weren't you? What does that add up to?
M-I-C-G-J.
Mixga. Yeah, that was your chance.
It wasn't good.
You ran twice, didn't you? You're like Trump.
Yeah, but he won one.
But he won one, yes. He at least won. You're worse than Trump. Okay, you think you'd have a better chance of getting Trump or the cow cells on this show? What do you think, Tom?
Cow cells.
I think Trump. Because we've tried with the cow cells.
Second time's a charm. You'd get the cow cells.
I'm not interested. I'm not interested in the cow cells anymore. We've moved on, haven't we, Captain?
Yes.
We only take rejection once.
Talking to the
freaking cow cells.
Jesus.
I mean, part of the reason we wanted them on was to kind of laugh at them, didn't we?
I have not.
You think she sensed
seriously,
that?
I don't know. I don't think that she sensed it. I wasn't going to laugh at it.
I was. I mean, sort of.
But
Because haven't we mostly laughed at the cow cells?
Well, I think mostly ignored.
Yeah. I wasn't going to laugh. I mean, honest to God, no, when I've asked a guest on if they are willing and everything, I've never laughed at them or anything. But I mean, Jesus, I've had presidents on. I had the Speaker of the House on. I had all these, and then I go to the cow sills, and it's like an insult.
You've had Southern Justin and Barack Obama.
And they wrote. Maybe it's because they wrote hair. They're still riding that wave.
I hate that.
I know, and you would have said that to them, and then
I wouldn't have said that.
You wouldn't have said. Well, if they would have been bragging about hair, you would not have said that it sucked.
No.
Because that would have made for good radio.
No, it was a huge hit. I can't say it. I didn't like it, but it was a huge hit.
Tom, you like hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
I like.
You like the song?
I
or
like
the
musicals.
The music. Okay.
Yeah, you like musicals, and I don't like.
No, I don't like musicals.
Don't like musicals.
I like Grease.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I like some. Okay, West Side Story
and Grease.
Grease and
Bye Bye Birdie. You like?
Never saw that.
Yeah.
No, I like West Side Story.
Music Band.
Did not see the new West Side Story. Have you guys seen it?
Uh-huh.
Was it good?
Seen it? Yeah.
I didn't see it.
I haven't seen it.
They did. They had Rita Moreno sing "There's a Place for Us" rather than Tony and Maria.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting.
Isn't Rita Moreno like 90?
Yeah.
Yes.
She was in the Rockford Files. Rita Capkovich.
And she was also in
a whore.
The original West Side Story.
Okay, that's right. She was a whore in the Rockford Files. Rita Capkovich.
Yeah. The Rockford Files.
They were on last night, but I fell asleep. That Oriza knocked me out. I did. I fell asleep right after I ate it, and the next thing I remember is putting the dish down and basically falling asleep. It served its purpose.
We did the old steak and salmon.
Doing that tonight.
Oven potato thing.
I went to Subway and got their chicken salad wraps.
Yeah.
For I and Jan.
Didn't you say those were tiny? Or was that somewhere else?
It was somewhere else.
The 2 for $5?
That was Arby's.
Oh.
Well, it's 2 for $5. I don't know what I expected. And it was good, but it was tiny. No, we like chicken salad, got chicken salad wraps. And the guy goes, do you want it like it is up there, or do you want us to make it special? I said, no, like it is up there. And it was damn good. It really was.
I'll take your word for it. I'm not a chicken salad fan
nor
at all.
Yeah.
It's just more mayonnaise.
I like it. And it was good. And the veggies. And
I remember my mom used to make egg salad. And I'm like, God,
the only time I can eat egg salad is if it's egg salad.
I just anything with a mayonnaise base, man, you lose me.
Mustard,
mayonnaise, goo, just
whatever,
goo, and just nasty goo.
You're haters.
I'm a hater.
Yeah,
nasty goo. That'd be a good name for a band. Nasty goo.
There is a goo band.
I'm sure there is. More than the Goo Goo Dolls.
Well, there's a Goo Goo Dolls, but there's a goo.
The goo.
And wasn't there a song by Traffic, Medicated Goo?
Medicated
Goo,
but
yeah.
There's a Goo band. We played them on the Plus back 50 years ago.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
60 years tomorrow, Suter.
What, that you've been on the air?
Yeah, 60 freaking years.
Wow.
God, you are like the Stones.
It's a lot of years.
65. So
you and the Stones came about the same time.
Wouldn't that be 60?
55. This will be 60 next year.
Yeah, I'll go it into my 60th.
Yeah, you and the Stones came about almost right about the same time.
No, I played there. Here's a brand new band.
Their first album came out.
Didn't
their first album come out in '64?
I think
it was '64. I think
probably.
I think it came out like right around now in '64 because I just saw it tweeted the other day.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jesus.
Oh, here's something interesting. Since we're going all over the place, Suter.
What a surprise!
Well, it is. Now, in fairness to us, yeah, we are weird, but it is June, guys.
Yeah, it is.
All right, I'm going to find. I got to go back to my notifications and. Oh, did you see what that letter Brock Harding wrote to his brother?
No.
That was pretty cool. His brother was a starting second baseman for Illinois, and right after they got eliminated, he just wrote a letter on Twitter about what his brother has meant to him. It was really cool. Oh, and we need to mention Ben Keeter and Patrick Kennedy both winning their age championships, national titles. Okay, here's Rolling Stone's top 20 guitarists.
Okay.
And somebody tweeted us if you agree. Okay, number 1, Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
Number 2, Eric Clapton. Number 3, Jimmy Page. Number 4, Keith Richards. Number 5, Jeff Beck. Number 6, B.B. King. Number 7, Chuck Berry. Number 8, Eddie Van Halen. Number 9, Duane Allman. Number 10, Pete Townsend. Number 11, George Harrison. Number 12, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Number 13, Albert King. Number 14, David Gilmour. 15, Freddie King. 16, Derek Trucks. 17, Neil Young. 18, Les Paul. 19, James Burton. 20, Carlos Santana. And the way it was phrased, the guy just said, hey, is there anybody else that you would add to this list? And I just put my top 20 would also probably include Prince, Roy Clark, Glenn Campbell, and Tommy Bolin, because it's all subjective. But I'm just curious, what do you think of that list as a guitarist?
Pretty good. Who was number 19? I don't know that name.
James Burton. I think he was with Metallica.
Oh, okay.
I think. What's that? Oh, who's the kid I'm thinking of that killed the guitarist? I thought his name was Burton too.
Terry Kath wasn't
Terry
on there.
Kath was definitely he should be on there.
Yeah,
that's a name I just forgot too. But I think Prince should definitely be on there. Don't you?
They say.
And people would disagree with Roy Clark and Glenn Campbell because I guess they're not quote unquote rock and roll. Roy Clark's as good as any guitarist
Oh no, they're
on there.
incredible. And both.
And he could play rock and roll if you wanted him to.
Les Paul.
He was on there. He was.
Oh, he was. Okay.
Les Paul is number 18.
Okay.
Okay. Who is the guy that played? I thought it was with Metallica. He got killed in a bus trip back in like the.
I don't know.
That's who I thought James Burton was. I've never really paid attention to Elvis Presley's guitarist. And maybe that's my problem. Let's see any others. The Derek Trucks.
Oh, he's terrific.
Yep. Albert King, Freddie
Cliff
King.
Burton.
Paul Burton. That's who okay.
No, Cliff.
Cliff Burton. He was with Metallica, right?
Yeah.
He got killed in like 85 or 86.
Tour bus crashed in Sweden while they were on the European leg of their Damage Incorporated tour.
And he was, I know he had a strong following when he died because I remember that.
Yeah.
And I certainly agree with all three Kings.
So do you agree with,
players.
let's go top 5. Hendrix, Clapton, Page, Richards, and Beck. Do you agree with that?
Probably.
Jeff Beck was
Duane Allman was awful damn good.
They've got Duane at 9. So was Eddie Van Halen, and I didn't even like his music.
Yeah.
And how about Chuck Berry and B.B.
Chuck Berry's guitar was never in tune, okay?
But isn't that part of his
Well, I don't know,
aura?
but he was very innovative, but everything sounded the same.
Maybe he
so
said...
I don't know. He was
said,
innovative.
I ain't tuning this thing till I get my money.
I want more money.
Okay, so what do you think about Hendrix, number 1?
Again, he was very innovative. He changed the way the guitarists looked at the instrument. There's no doubt about that.
How so?
Just with the use of the whammy bar.
Okay.
Probably more than anything else.
How about when he lit his guitar on fire?
Mach Chow,
I was surprised that Jimmy Page was ranked 3rd. As a huge Led Zeppelin fan, I was kind of glad to see that.
He's Terrific guitar player. Yeah.
Okay, you would know more than me. I mean, I love his work with Led Zeppelin. I mean, and David, I'm glad that David Gilmour made this too. I think sometimes, but Terry Kath needs. I think you can make a case. Terry Kath could be in the top 10, not only top 20. And I forgot to mention him, but Roy Clark and Glenn Campbell are as talented as any of these.
Oh,
people.
for sure.
Don't just think lineman of the county. That doesn't explain Glenn Campbell's.
I love that song.
I don't, but he's a great guitarist. And a lot of people did love that song. It puts me to sleep.
Isn't that a Jimmy Webb song?
Yeah, it's just.
And his songs, some of his songs
Lineman was just,
I love that song.
Yeah, it's just the lyrics to it are just.
You have to admit, it's kind of boring. Imagine John Bonham playing the drums on that.
No,
no, I really can't.
No.
Nor can Bobby and Sissy. They did a version of that. I was in, I don't remember where I was, and somebody had Lawrence Welk on one of the monitors, and Bobby and Sissy were doing Wichita Lineman, and it was just ridiculous.
How about when they did One Toke Over the Line?
That was the most ridiculous.
That was such a stupid song. But like with me with Tommy Boland, that's just strictly my. I mean, I know you could make a strong case that he didn't do near as much to be in there, but I loved his sound. I loved his 2 solo albums, and he was a very versatile guitarist. I mean, he could go heavy metal with the best,
read something about him,
or he could go acoustic with the best. And I think Jerry Garcia should get some. And the other thing is, wait a second.
Oh, there's a Tommy Boland exhibit now at the Sioux City Public Library.
I did see that. Okay, the other thing is, where the hell is Mark Knopfler?
Yeah. Oh, good point. Yeah.
I just realized Mark Knopfler's not in here. I mean, I think he'd be in my top 10. Maybe my top 5.
Yeah, he's one of those guys you can generally tell it's him.
Oh, it's him with one note.
Yeah. He's got
I think Jerry Garcia is kind of that way, too, because the Dead sound was so unique. But, yeah, to me, Mark Knopfler and Terry Kath not being in there. But you guys are the ones that got me up to date on how good Roy Clark and Glenn Campbell were. I didn't realize that. I did research on both. I'm like, good Lord, I got this. There's this 2-minute video of Roy Clark. It's unbelievable what he's doing with the guitar.
And if you look at Glenn Campbell's discography, how many songs he's played on, it's incredible. It's mind-blowing.
See, I thought Roy Clark was just in a cornfield going, yee-haw, and I didn't realize there was so much more. And Buck Owens was a great guitarist.
Yeah.
No, those guys were all...
Buck Owens was a hell of a businessman.
How about who was the grandpa? Who was the grandpa in Hee Haw?
Grandpa Jones.
Grandpa Jones. Imagine how old he'd be now if he was still alive. Because wasn't he like 90 back then?
He was old.
Yeah.
Or was he really not that old? Like Wilford Brimley was 40 when he was... People thought he was 70.
True. And then Estelle Getty, wasn't she younger than all the...
Yes.
Yes. And then what was the other one? Irene Ryan as Granny. And wasn't she like in her 20s? No, but wasn't she like in her 50s or 60s playing Granny?
Grandpa Jones was Louis Marshall Jones, banjo player and old-time country music singer. He was born in 1913.
Oh.
He died when he was 84.
Okay, a little younger. I figured he was born in the 1800s.
No.
Because wasn't Hee Haw in the late 60s, early 70s?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 21 years on the air.
Oh, I remember it. The big donkey with the teeth at the introduction. Yeah, I remember Hee Haw.
I liked Hee Haw.
I did not.
I didn't stay with it for 21 years, but yeah, I did too.
I mean, I watched it a few times. But
those were live performances they were doing.
Yeah.
Because they would film Hee Haw over 2 or 3 weekends for the whole year. And they didn't rehearse anything. They had, lines that
and Roy Clark seemed like a nice guy, too.
Yeah. They had to read, and they read those, but there was very little rehearsal.
And they had hot women in the cornfields, too.
And a lot of the music was played live.
Yeah. Do you like Hee Haw more or Laugh-In?
I like both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Same damn thing, except because Hee Haw wasn't limited to it wasn't.
But Laugh-In's the first time I ever heard of Goldie Hawn, Artie Johnson, Joanne Worley.
Well, I did like the women dancing in their bikinis on Laugh-In.
I remember that. Laugh-In was late 60s, early 70s, right?
Yeah.
That was Goldie Hawn, right?
Yeah.
And our buddy Artie Johnson.
Yeah.
Who kind of looks like Mike Johnson, the new Speaker of the House.
Yeah, I wouldn't tie.
But they look
into
alike.
that, yes.
They do look alike.
Oh, it's very interesting.
That's what he would say. Yeah, I remember that. And then Joanne Worley would just come on and scream, right?
Yes.
She'd have some silk sequin on and she'd just be screaming. That's what I remember. And then Ruth Buzzy. All right, back to the Hawks. Remember, this is a Hawk Fanatic segment.
Well, that's right.
We got to be tethered to the Hawks. Oh, we got NCAA track, I believe, this coming weekend. No, that was the Eugene. I mean, last week was the regionals. Now I believe there's a few that have qualified for the Eugene. I believe is that coming this weekend, Hunter? Do you know? I'll have to look that up. Because there's track. I believe there's one more weekend of track. Because once everything's over, then I'm going to do my top 10 male and female student athletes for the year. But I have to wait until track is over. I believe there's still a few, like the guy we had on, Mike Stein. I believe he finished third at the Arkansas regional, and he qualified for Eugene. And I'm just not sure exactly when it is.
Let's see.
It could have been this past
start date Wednesday, June 5th.
Okay, so it's coming.
June 5th through the 8th.
Yeah. Okay. So then after by the 8th, everything will the school year, sports calendar year will be officially over, and I'll be ranking. I always rank the top 10 male and female. Obviously, Caitlin will. I think she'll have a good chance to be number one on the female list again. The men's list will be. I mean, it'll be interesting. They didn't have an NCAA champion in wrestling. That's usually a no-brainer. I mean, they had one guy finish runner-up, didn't they?
I think only one.
And then basketball. Nobody made first team All Big Ten.
No.
Tony made second. Tony and Peyton. I mean, it's going to be. It'll be interesting. I mean, obviously Brody Breck's going to be in there, and a couple other Raider Tello and a couple other baseball players. And so I'll be doing that. That's one of the things I do in June.
And then football.
Cooper DeJean, even with missing a few games. Jay Higgins, I think definitely with leading the Big Ten in tackles.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody on offense. I mean, nobody.
No.
I mean, there could be even more. I mean, you could make a case for a few more football players. So we'll see. I mean, I'll be doing that here in a little bit. But this is a nice time of year. I know there's not a lot going on, but it's nice to have not a lot going on for a while.
And sadly, Torrey Taylor would have to be considered.
Oh, Torrey Taylor's another. I knew there was. He definitely will be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell, he could make a case for him being number one.
Yeah, you could.
I mean, Owen Freeman, you could make a case for him. Owen, Peyton, and Tony, I think from the men's basketball team would all deserve consideration. Mike Stein, he definitely will. I mean, what he's been able to do. Rivaldo Marshall won the Big Ten indoor title in the 800. Remember that? There's plenty of candidates to choose from. So we'll see.
Well, it'll be fun to read.
Yeah, I started doing that at the Press Citizen years ago, and I just decided to keep doing it.
Oh, why not? Why reinvent the wheel?
There you go.
It's a good.
The wheel does not need
good idea.
reinvented.
No, well, an optimist, pessimist.
I haven't done one of those in a while. The problem is, the more I do those, the more upset people get with Mr. Pessimist now, because that's just the nature of things now. They don't. I mean, Mr. Pessimist can be mean.
He can.
He can.
But I always liked those.
He can be mean.
Yeah, I like those.
No,
Mr. Optimist would say that everything's going to be fine when you switch to YouTube, and Mr. Pessimist would say, no, Mediacom will still stink, and
YouTube, and he'll pick out something negative about YouTube.
Yeah,
something that YouTube doesn't have.
Channels numbers. It doesn't have channel numbers.
Then how do you know where you're going?
Alphabetical.
Oh God.
Well, what do you mean?
Just let me watch TV.
ABC.
Just take me back to the 70s. Just give me that big zenith and the shag carpet,
but
just changing the knob.
The channels you watch will end up on the top of the screen, so when you'll hit,
just click on them.
Look, Rockford Files.
Boom.
Boom.
There you go.
Look, Waterhorse.
Boom.
Yeah.
I actually had Gran Torino and my cousin Vinny going back and forth yesterday, but unfortunately, with my new remote, I have to click in the numbers every time, and instead of just being able to hit back button they don't have that on these new remotes. And I say that's another step of them getting us to get rid of TV. They're trying to make it so annoying to watch. But I went back. I actually found myself watching Gran Torino a little bit more than my cousin Vinny yesterday.
Interesting.
Found that I love that movie, Gran Torino. I love the ending too. I mean, that's sad. I get it, but You know the ending where he's driving in the Gran Torino with Daisy riding shotgun with him, and he looks over to Daisy. That was the perfect ending. Because I was so worried during that movie that something was going to happen to that damn dog. And nobody heard it, though, thank God. And that was Clint Eastwood's real dog.
Yeah.
I guess Daisy ain't around anymore since that movie came out, in 2008. I think Gran Torino came out the same year Sean Green led the Big Ten in rushing.
Hello?
Pat, on the bottom right of your new remote, it says enter. Hit that, and it'll go back to your channel.
I've tried that, and it didn't work. And even the MediaCom guy said that, too, and it didn't work.
Okay, well.
I'll try it again.
You're out of luck, I guess.
So when you say you're hit enter, though, but don't you have to do something? Enter is the first step, and then don't you have to punch something else in, don't you?
That's just what I've found out.
Oh, I'm going to go home and try it again. Maybe I did something wrong, but I showed it to I had MediaCom guy out there, and he's like, no, there's got to be one on here. And he tried them all, and he's like, wow, there isn't. But no, I'll give that a chance. I'm not saying you're not telling me the truth, but I couldn't get it to work.
Well, yep. You're oral.
I will. I hope that is the case, because that's annoying not being able to set up back-to-back channels, because I do that a lot, especially with sporting events. Like if there's 2 bowl games or something that I want to watch, you like to be able to go back and forth by just hitting a button.
I was bitching about that beeping if I cross a line on my car.
Yeah.
And so I read the book, and the button's on the steering wheel right in front of me.
So you don't like it that it warns you that you're veering out of your lane?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, it's because, I mean, you don't even have to veer out of your lane. You can come close to the...
Yeah, if it overdoes it, that would get annoying.
Yeah, and it's just...
I mean, obviously it's a safety feature, I get it, but no, that would become a little annoying.
You know, I signal.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, okay, like coming up Sandro Gilbert, where they've got it barricaded.
Yes.
Okay, so there's nobody in the other lane. So, you know, I go back into the normal lane I would be driving in, and it's beeping at me, telling me I'm an a-hole.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like it. It's kind of...
It's like some of your listeners.
Yeah. Yeah. Calling me Mr. Steve.
I'm sure you hung up on me. You think that guy...
Pissed me off.
You didn't like being called Mr. Steve, did you?
No, I didn't.
See, I thought that was a sign of respect.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Oh, another interesting Twitter thing from a rock and roll. Now that I've responded to a few of these things, then your algorithm, your feed just gets flooded. One of them was, can you name great bands from the United States without mentioning Metallica and Guns N' Roses? And I wrote back, yeah, that's easy. I went Steely Dan, Grateful Dead, Talking Heads, Allman Brothers, and The Doors. I mean, that's 5 right there that are just. I thought that was kind of a. I mean, don't get me wrong. Guns N' Roses and Metallica were great. I just was not a fan of either. Were you?
No, and that's just
my choice.
I mean, music is subjective, and the beauty of it is if you don't like something, you don't have to listen.
I just thought that was a weird way to phrase it. Like, you know, obviously these are by far the best bands ever to come from America. I wouldn't necessarily.
Not at all.
I don't think so.
I mean, they're both for
not in the
I
slightest.
will give Metallica.
Oh, they're hugely popular. Those guys are right about my age, man. They have made so
Yeah.
much money playing music.
Yeah, and they're very good at it. It's
I just don't
not
like their
my
sound.
type of music.
No, that's it.
No,
You
mine
know.
either.
But I mean,
Obviously, they're great at it.
Guns N' Roses.
I would take Metallica over Guns N' Roses if I had to listen to one of them.
The only thing I really like about Guns N' Roses is November Rain.
Yeah, I could.
I really love that song.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's kind of tedious.
But at least for them, compared to their other songs, I mean, it was a ballad, kind of like Beth with
I thought
Kiss.
tedious.
Oh, I love Beth.
I do too, and I hate Kiss. I mean, I've never, but I like the song Beth.
Party all night.
Yeah,
I don't think I can name a single Metallica
Rock
song.
and roll all night.
Enter Sandman, isn't that Metallica?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sandman. Yeah.
And
Then I can
that's
name
the
one.
Only, that's the only one I can name. That's the only one I can. Wasn't that Iowa's walk on?
Yeah, that's right after Back in Black. It's
yeah. Okay.
It morphs into Enter Sandman.
Enter Sandman. All right. Well, we finished another one. You don't have Lang's now. Did you go straight into Hey Molly?
Straight into Hey Molly.
Hey Nepo. Crap.
Okay.
We ending on that?
I guess.
We covered all the. You mentioned the stuff that Kaker posted. That was on his. Was that on the lounge?
Yeah.
But yeah, I had heard all those names. I guess the only name I hadn't heard was Vandenberg.
Mhm.
But yeah, he does do a podcast with his wife. But like I said, I'm with you though. I still think Iowa if they had to have reached out to Anthony Herron.
I would hope so.
And my guess is he just heard what they had to offer and couldn't make it work.
Well, I think Beth is very thorough.
Yes.
Do you know, I've been thinking about it and everything. You never want. It was Billy that wanted. That said higher mileage. You never once.
So you were
said
trying to stand
anything.
in the way of your daughter's progress.
You never once said.
Well, at the time, there
anything
wasn't
about
really. I mean, Billy had to give up his slot
Maybe Billy wanted to work
have
less.
Molly.
Yeah.
Billy wanted to work less. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, he did.
Good for him.
Billy'd come in and go, I just won $4,000 at the
I remember those.
at the casino.
But Billy had to give up his slot
Yeah.
to slide Molly in, and it probably was better for us because
younger,
and it's within format.
Age discrimination.
Yeah, 'cause Billy was oldies.
Yeah, he was really good.
He sure was.
He was great on the air. He just was. I mean, a natural. Never had radio experience or nothing. Just freaking natural.
He had some good music taste too.
He was
He
Billy
hated the specials.
He had some good and some horrible music taste.
Billy was a bartender and knew how to talk to people.
Well, but
Other than
it's
Murph.
one thing to do it, it's another thing to you're in front of a microphone.
Be able to project.
You
Yes,
should
that's
have.
right.
You missed your chance. I think you should have done the Billy and Murph show. I mean, you missed your chance. You would have sold sponsorships for that.
It
Billy,
was the Billy and Murph show
Billy
on
gets on
Sunday
there and
morning,
just have
and
Billy
it
be
didn't
mean.
work. Well, he could be mean to him, and rightfully so.
I think that would.
We're all tired.
Yeah, get off of the couch.
Oh yeah, Murph would come in and sleep, right?
Not sleeping on my watch.
Yeah,
The
but you
good
know
old days.
something? Billy never came to me and badmouth Murph.
No,
he came to you and badmouthed me about the specials.
Well, he thought they sucked.
Well, that was his problem.
That was awful.
Guy who listens to what, Hot House Flowers or something like that. Men Without Hats.
Why did he like Men Without Hats?
I don't know.
You notice did you ever see him wearing a hat?
Yeah.
I never saw Billy wear a hat.
He had a.
But I played softball with Billy for years.
Well,
so-
but away from the competitive field, was he ever wearing a hat? I think Billy had.
I think I saw him.
I think
wearing
Billy
it.
had.
often.
I think Billy had something against hats.
I don't know, but he liked that song, and I will never understand that.
What was the song? We Can Dance.
Safety
with You.
Dance.
Safety Dance. That's like We Can Wang Chung tonight. You played that the other
Wang
day.
Chung.
God.
I liked Wang Chung a lot better than Men Without
Men
Hats.
Without Hats.
Wang Chung tonight's one of my all-time worst. It's
why?
It's just bad. Nobody wants to Wang
I
Chung.
thought it was
tonight.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it never.
One of the best songs I think ever.
Ever? All right.
Ever recorded.
We'll end on that. Everybody have a good day.
Okay, Molly Suter is next. HawkFanatic.com. Check it out. It be free.
KCJJ Weather, brought to you by Plum